Hello, I am Professor Eric Martin here at Lewis Clark State College, and for just a few minutes here, I want to talk to y'all, whether you're in History 101 or History 102, about academic advising. It is time for advanced registration for the next term, and in order to be released to register, you're going to need to meet with your advisor and discuss with them your academic plan, both in terms of the long term, as in what do you intend to major in, how do you plan to graduate, and also the short term, as in what classes do you plan to take next semester. So, as soon as you're finished watching this video, I would get on the telephone and get on the email, drop by your advisor's office, and make an appointment with them so that you can discuss these things. Now, a couple of things that you're going to want to keep in mind when you do this, and this is something that I tell all my advisees. I am nothing more than your advisor. You're in charge. So make sure that you know what's going on. Come to your advisor with a plan to propose so that if I am your advisor, I can look over your plan and say, plan looks good. Or I can say, plan looks pretty good, but we need to reconsider this. Or, I don't know about that plan. But please do not show up to your advisor's office and ask them to make your plan for you, right? So that's sort of, step one towards college graduation is figuring out how to graduate, right? And luckily, LCSC makes it very easy for you with these program plans, right? Yeah, and it's backwards. I know, it doesn't matter. You don't have to read it. And go to the LCSC website and click on, I think it's admissions. Look for the academic catalog. Find your major and download the program plan. If you don't have a major, fine. Download almost any program plan because the left-hand side is more or less the same for everybody. So here's the deal. And if you don't have a long-term plan, if you don't have a major, as long as you're a freshman, maybe a early sophomore, that's fine. If I were the king of the college, no one would be allowed to declare a major until their second year in school. How do you know you wanted to be an anthropologist? I never got a chance to take it. I didn't know what anthropology was before I came to college. How do I know that I wanted to be a, pick your thing that you get to try out in college that you never tried before? I just bring that up because, but I also know for some programs, particularly people in the nursing program, very limited choices. So you don't really have the luxury to spend the freshman year checking things out. But if it were up to me, that's the way we would do it. But anyway, if you're a freshman and you don't have a major, great. What you should be working on is finishing up the general education portion of the program plan because that is going to be more or less the same anywhere. Take the other half of this course. I encourage you to take it in person. I do my best to make this an interesting class online. I do my best to make this a class where you learn a lot online. But the online learning environment is fundamentally different than the face-to-face learning environment, if for no other reason than this one. It transforms the student-teacher relationship. You and I have a very different relationship in this online format than we do in a face-to-face class. And we can demonstrate that by the fact that I have no clue what most of you look like, right? And so if part of the learning process is the student-teacher relationship, and it is, then the environment fundamentally transforms that. Now, it doesn't necessarily make this, bad. It just makes it different. If you have the ability to take the other part of this class, whether it's 101 or 102 face-to-face, I suggest it. If the class is closed, if there's no more seats available, you contact me. I like having people who have already had one end of the class in the other class. You just let me know. I'll make sure you get in the class. However, for some of us, we're taking online courses for a reason. We got families to support. We got families to take care of. We're bound to our home. We got our own reasons, right? And coming to the campus is just not going to happen. Then consider taking the other half of this course online. The content is different. The system is the same. You already understand the system now. So the whole process that many of you went through at the beginning of this course, well, how do I figure out what the professor's expectations are? How do I figure out what earns me a good grade in the class participation boards? How do I study for the course? Well, guess what? You know that. And so you'll come into the new course, or the other half of this course, already having that information. Okay, that's my spiel. One of them will count for your social science requirement for Gen Ed. The other one will count for your diversity requirement for Gen Ed. English 102. If you have not taken English 102 yet, you need to put that on the top of your list. That is a prerequisite for so many other courses. Get that taken care of. Math. Take care of your math. That is the Achilles heel for many students here at LCSC. Don't avoid it. Hit it head on. Deal with it. Focus on graduating. I was if you are a math phobe, someone who's afraid of math, that was me. All right, I had to take math 3 times in order to pass it. All right, I was so excited to pass. I didn't make that good a grade in it, but I passed, and I knew when I completed that class after having to drop it twice, I was going to graduate. Don't put it off to the end. Okay. Other things to think about. Even if you have a major, think about a minor. Think about a minor. I'd like for you to think about a minor in history, which you can get online, right? You got 101 and 102. You can take 111 and 112 online, and then you just got to take 3 upper division history courses online. That's all a minor is. But that's just, my own selfish interest, wanting more people to engage in history. Get a minor in anything you want. A minor is useful for getting a more formalized area of study that you're really interested in, but you don't want to dedicate the time of a major. Okay? You're a business major, you're really determined, whatever, this is an example. You're really determined to be an accountant. Your father runs an accounting firm. He's already got your nameplate, in the office. He's been waiting for you to join the family business forever. You're going to be an accountant. And besides that, you like accounting. It's cool. But you've also discovered you're interested in something else. Interested in sociology. Interested in history. That was a really cool class. Well, pick it up as a minor. And you might be surprised how, despite the fact that, frequently the idea is, well, what can you do with a history major or history minor? Well, I'll tell you one thing you can do with a history major or history minor. You can show up at an employer's office with the ability to write, to analyze, and to think critically about things. And if those are job skills that they need, they can teach you a lot of the rest. Now, it's not necessarily true if you're trying to be a radiographer or something like this, but for many organizations, what they want to know is, are you trainable? All right, do you have the basic skills? So think about a minor in whatever you're interested in. Let's say you're already a history major. Think about a minor in business. Think about a minor in anything. Just something that interests you. It's a more formalized type of study, and it just kind of opens up your options a little bit in terms of what you might be thinking about in terms of your future. And frankly, for a lot of these things, lots of times, people ask, oh, what's the best major? What's the best major? Well, you know what one answer to that question is? The best major is the major that keeps you interested in school. The best major are the classes that keep you going to school. And sometimes your minor can function as that. But anyway, I've spoken a little bit longer about this than I really intended to. My main point was to just remind us, advanced registration is coming up. Remind us, go visit your advisor, get released for registration. And that's probably all for today. You got questions about advising that you're interested in? I'm happy to answer them. Phone call me, email me, drop by the office. And otherwise, I will see you next time.